Perfect. We got it. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys can see me. Thank you, everyone, for being here and enjoying the time with me and Augusto and asking us your questions or feedback or anything that you have in mind. We'd love to take all of it. So, I'm Dina Ayman and Augusto with me on the line. I don't know if you can see him. Let me send live. Augusto?
Hey, you guys.
Hi, Augusto.
Hello. I'm not artificial intelligence. So people who watch the video talk to me and say, hey, I thought that you were an AI that from that games that we played, that there is an AI on the bottom right of the screen. So no, I'm real.
You are real. Oh my goodness. So we have someone from Pakistan, Faizan. Hi, Faizan. Hi from Pakistan. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy that you are here and really looking for your questions. So I'm looking at the Q&A section. If you have any questions, you can put that for us.
Hey, Anonymous. Can you hear me? Hey.
So you're here, you're live.
Yeah, I think you have to click on the publish button for showing the questions because. Yeah, Anonymous, I think you are in the right place. Do you want to talk about WebRTC and WinRTC? Yes, you are in the right place. So did you guys watch?
I see there's 40 people, but I'm not seeing any questions.
So you guys feel free to go to the live Q&A and ask your questions over there. This is new to us as well, so this is the first time we have questions.
Nice.
Awesome. Now we got questions from Horse. Yes, so publish the questions.
Can they see the two of us at the same time? I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure as well.
Okay, so
let's get the first question about DX over there.
Yeah, so the first one says, good morning.
Can you publish?
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
See, so the first one that we have, it says, good morning. How is it integrated? Can I use DirectX, Direct Show filter in it? We can put you, Augusto, to take that.
Okay, this is a great question. So the code that we have, WebRTC has currently is using Direct Show, and we have a new components using DX and using Windows Media as well. So my end goal is using DX for everything that DX can be used for. So I'm currently working on implementing DX 11 video VA for the video capture, and we are going to be using the Media Foundation for the encoder as well. So stay tuned in the Git WinRTC repo, and we are going to see when these things land. Makes sense? So next,
Perfect.
I hope feel free to ask more things about it. I love to talk about this topic, by the way. I can talk a lot.
Love it. So the second one says, what Azure servers are there to scale WebRTC past the peer-to-peer limits?
Okay, this is
people like thousands viewers.
Yes. So let's unpack a little bit this. Let's unpack a little bit this question here. So WinRTC as is in the client side. So we are going to have we are making the code that runs in the web browsers to be able to run on Windows native apps. That said, there is also a server side on WebRTC. WebRTC by itself is a peer-to-peer connection, is a peer-to-peer technology, but it's quite hard to any square the number of connections, right? So usually you connect to something called SFUs or MCUs to have the conversations with more than 1,000 people or hundreds of people. And this is something that we are thinking on, but I cannot say any more. I cannot give more details about it. But yes, this is something that's we are looking at these capabilities.
Okay, we have a question from Christina. It says, is it going to be a Windows runtime API or a standalone library?
A standalone library. So wait, there is. Let me ask. This is a good question, Christian. So, as is WinRTC, we have. If you take a look on the presentation that we have on YouTube, you're going to see the architecture that we have. So we are clearing with our legal department about how to publish the NuGet packages. So the first layer that you are going to deliver, that you can already do that when you clone the GitHub repo, is building WebRTC for Windows on UWP and Win32, and this will save you kind of 4 hours at least. So on top of that, that NuGet package will give you a static library that you can link in your C++ applications. On top of that, we have a WinRT library that you can link with your applications. So when you write an Windows app, we're using C++, CX, C++ WinRT, or .NET, or even Win32, you can go directly to that WinRT library and so on. And on top of that, we have a NuGet package that is a XAML component. So with these 3 layers, we hope that we can allow any developer on the Windows ecosystem to have real-time communications on their apps. Doesn't matter if you are using Win32, C# or VB. We want you to be able to use WebRTC in your apps. So, and if you have any questions, please go to the GitHub repo and ask. Where I'm going to love to answer.
Great. So we have another question from Umar. Yeah, he's saying, explain a little bit about WebRTC. What is it? Can it be used for camera video streaming?
Do you want to take that one, or I can take it? Wow, it's a lot of questions.
Yes, okay. Loving this.
Okay, so let's talk about WebRTC. Or you can take it, this one. Yep.
Yeah, I can take that. So what is WebRTC? So WebRTC is a real-time communication. It stands for Web Real-Time Communication. And it's a standard to have real-time communication whenever you have a web browser. And the WinRTC version is the Microsoft library. It's a standalone library for us, and it's the Microsoft official library for real-time communication to be able to use it on your modern Windows. And it's definitely used for camera video streaming. It's used for all the video and the audio. So camera video streaming is one of them.
Yeah, most likely the technology that you are using at this moment, if you are watching this in the web browser, you are using WebRTC underneath. This is what allows streaming the video feed and the camera feed that we are from our computers to your computers. And I like that question because this is what we want you to be able to offer to your customers, because you develop apps to other people. So you develop apps for other companies. And I think that most of companies want to connect to their customers. So if you want to write a Windows native app that has that will run in a customer center, and their other customers will want to have customer service being delivered to them using web browser, the technology to do that is a WebRTC, because you can have a very rich experience using Windows native app in these customer centers, and then and the customers using WebRTC in their browsers or in their phones. So it's the interoperability is huge. The gains are huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the next one is from Anonymous, and it says, what learning resources do you have for modern C++ and or C++ WinRT?
I'm not sure if I get this question. So the WinRTC, the abstraction layer, so the wrappers on top of WebRTC were made using C++ WinRT, the projection. So MSDN is the place that I always go to find good documentation about how to write apps. So, and keep in mind, there is we are, as employees, we rely, we don't have kind of a stash, a private stash of documentation. No, we read the public ones just like you guys.
Yep, so Tony is saying, was there a presentation section that I missed for this? And yes, there was. I'll try to put it as an announcement. I'll put the link here so you guys can see it. John is saying, does anyone run WebRTC server on Azure?
Oh, wait, so, oh, I think I messed him.
No, it's okay. So it's saying, John is saying, does anyone run WebRTC server on Azure?
For sure, Azure runs a lot of stuff. So we have lots of customers running a WebRTC on Azure right now. So for example, this connection here. So, but keep in mind that WebRTC is a W3C spec that's backed by a lot of IETF specs. So if you are asking if you have some server-side component that helps doing the signaling and the stun and turn and network traversal and kind of MSUs, FSUs, you can run all that stuff on Azure right now. So you just need to do the infrastructure as service. So you go there and spin up a VM, install your packages and configure. You can do this right now. So yeah, so we have. So for example, Xbox. If you have an Xbox, we have lots of apps inside the Xbox that's streaming video that are running on top of Azure. This entire conference is running on top of Azure, and we have other customers as well using WebRTC on top of Azure. So for sure, we have lots of those. But this is, again, WinRTC is the client stack for that. It's not the server-side stack.
I don't know who's up now. Okay, so for everyone, I tried to put the link for all the links for the session. So if it worked, that link will take you to all the sessions that we have and everything that you missed. And let me take another one. So Keith said, why, when would I use WebRTC library over WebRTC support in a browser? Okay,
so I love this one.
Yeah.
So can you send me a live? Okay, so I love this one. So because the internet is much more than the web. First, okay. So as I said, so if you're building an application that's is designed only for web, it's great to go implement as web and use all that stuff in the web. However, there's a lot of there are lots of use cases that you want a native app. So, and WinRTC is the component that you're going to be used on your Windows native app. So, and why WinRTC not going directly to the WebRTC repo and just build it? Because the WebRTC repo as is not compatible with the modern Windows. So, and it's using some technologies from Microsoft that probably are older than most of people in this call. So for example, they have over there the camera module using direct show. That's a very old technology, so it's still good, still works. But if you want to use network cameras and cameras with more capabilities, you should go with Windows Media or with Media Foundation. And by the way, this is when you run WebRTC stack inside a web browser. This is what the code that inside the web browser is doing. So it's using DirectX 11 VA, so video acceleration. So the short answer is, if you need more than a web app for your customer, you should go with a native app. And the answer is, every time that you need a native app, feel free to use WinRTC to add real-time communications to your application. And again, since it's as a standard, it means that your native app will be able to communicate with the other end that's running on a web browser. So it's a very good story.
So Jay is saying something that you might have been touched on already. He's saying, can you give us a brief overview of WinRTC?
Yeah, I think I already covered about that, and the presentation that Dina did showing the architecture shows very, very well. So the thing is about WinRTC that I like to, the way how I like to frame it is, it's the place that you go every time that you think that your Windows native app needs a real-time communication, is the place that you should go, because we want you to be able to add real-time communication capabilities to your native apps. So currently the standard that kind of dominates the industry is WebRTC. So we are going to support heavily WebRTC in WinRTC. So next question.
So let me get. So the next one says, typically, how do you approach testing for WebRTC, both functionally from a scale perspective?
Oh, this is a great question.
I love this.
This is a great question. So this is hard. It's hard because of the nature of the real-time communications itself. So there are so many moving parts that's very hard to write tests on scale. So we try to run the tests from the WebRTC repo, from the Google repo. We run and we fix everything that we find that's wrong. And then there's tests about connections itself between across different endpoints. So sometimes if you have someone running an old version of Chrome or Edge, might not have all the code and implementation that's running on the most recent one. So it's quite tricky. So we try to keep the bar high, but at the same time you have to balance the resources between implementing new features and implementing tests. So we try to always be compatible with the most recent version of Edge, and between ourselves as well, and with different network configurations.
Okay, so the next one is from Gassan, and he's saying, hi, can you use WebRTC for web webinar live streaming? And what is the best Azure service that can be integrated with WebRTC?
Oh, dude, so many things I would like to answer on this one. So yes, you can use the WebRTC as a webinar. So and for live streaming. So definitely you can do that. And with the WinRTC at the moment, you can do this right now. So I think if you the problem with the webinar is, I think you want FSU or MCU. So what is FSUs and MCU? So WebRTC is a peer-to-peer connection, as a peer-to-peer technology. So it's kind of Dina is talking to me. So you just need the signaling. You just need the signaling server. That's where Dina's computer will tell how to my computer how to find her, and after that, one computer connects directly to another. So it's a peer-to-peer. However, in a webinar, you probably have one presenter, wanting to show his content for hundreds of people, to thousands of people. In that case, the peer-to-peer technology will not scale correctly. Because can you imagine how much load your computer would have to withstand? To be kind of ridiculous. So in that case, usually you use a server called MCU or SFU, depending on the use case you want. And then it means that your architecture now is a star architecture. So the presenter sends its feed to a server or a collection of servers, and this gets multiplied to your audience. Azure has all the capabilities to do that, but we don't have a turnkey solution that you can go to Azure portal and flip switch. But yeah, but all the infrastructure is there if you want to.
So the next one is really interesting. It says, how do you use WinRTC? Is it a NuGet package? Can you use an UWP?
Yes, you can use WinRTC as NuGet package. We have one ready, and because has some patent related issues with the video codecs, we are doing the clearing with the legal department. As soon as we have the clearance, we are going to publish these NuGet packages.
And then we have, can WinRTC be used to connect to an RTSP source, like an IP camera or a render video streaming coming from it?
Yes, if your camera uses WebRTC, yes, you can. Actually, we have some customers that are doing that.
Okay, the next one says, is this a good mechanism for custom binary streaming communication between, say, a control system and a web page?
I'm not following this one here, so can you repeat, please?
Rick is saying, is this a good mechanism for custom binary stream communication between, say, a control system and a web page?
So using the data channel for things. So I think we had some companies doing that. Yes. So using telemetry as real-time communication for telemetry and stats. Yes, you can do that.
And the next one from Jason is saying, would love to pass media data with low latency between web page and web app and Windows app. Does WinRTC help in this scenario? Use real-time collaborative music composition as an example.
You definitely can use as a low latency between web page and our Windows native app. For sure, you can do that. I'm just worried about a music composition because the latency is low, but it's not as low as I can imagine as needed for collaborative music composition application. So if you need, keep in mind that even it's a real-time communication is kind of a tricky term here because we think that's immediate. But we have lots of milliseconds that is introduced in the network. And that WebRTC technology tries to hide this all this complexity and all this latency from the native app, from the web app, but it's there. It's definitely there, especially if you are using FSU and MSU. The latency is quite there. So for an application that if you want to have a friend kind of some beats and other friends doing the bass, I'm not sure if any technology that web technology these days can reach that. But for communications, just the one that we are just having right now is perfect. Oh, good question. I like the use case.
And then the next one says, will Windows provide default ice and turn servers?
No. Or
will we have to provide our own?
No. The WinRTC is a client stack, and then you should have your own ice turn and turn. And feel free to use your Azure credits to have your server side over there. We would love it.
So provide your own. So yes. The next says, Omar says, can we use WinRTC to stream video audio from a UWP app to Azure Media Service?
I'm not sure which Azure Media Service Omar is talking about here, but if the Azure Media Service takes WebRTC as one of the input sinks, for sure. Yes, you can.
Okay, and it says, Kip, can it be used on .NET C#?
Yes, yes. We are probably very soon you're going to be able to do that. Yes, and not with the content that we have in the GitHub repo right now, but we are working on make this happen very soon. So stay tuned.
Perfect. And then Omar is saying, where can we get sample getting started code? GitHub. So and if you don't find the samples that you want, file an issue on GitHub, and they're going to make sure that we have better samples. So Dave is saying, oh wait, I'm losing it. Oh, Dave is saying, so if I have a large audio file in Azure storage and I want to stream it into a Windows native app, I would use WinRTC to create a streaming session somehow.
Yes, you can do that. Yes, but keep in mind that WebRTC is optimized for real-time communication. So the quality, if you really like the audio quality, you might have to do some tweaks. So it's just like if you use Spotify, you have all the levels that you can adjust the quality of the sound that you are going to listen to. You are going to have to do the same with the WinRTC as well. You'll have to set some parameters. Say I want high quality encoders on this track here.
Right, so now Jason is saying, would love to pass media data with low latency between web page. Oh, did we take that one already?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So is the API available in C#, and can it be used in Xamarin?
Xamarin. I didn't test on Xamarin, but it's a good question. So now that with Project Reunion, so I strongly recommend you guys to watching the session about this Project Reunion. We are going to have, it doesn't matter if you are developing C#, Win32 or UWP native, you are going to be able to consume all the APIs. So we have, for answering your question, so yes, you are going to be able to run, to have WinRTC inside your C# app, no problem with that. And the sessions that I would recommend you to watch is the Project Reunion, and there is one also related. There's a GitHub repo that is C# WinRT. There's a projection that allows you to consume any WinRT API directly from C#. So yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Next one.
Is WinRTC going to show up as a Windows reunion library from Nick?
Oh, so see, I didn't read that, but I just it's not clear yet. So I can say that you can use reunion. It's a very broad effort. There is so many components of a reunion, and I'm definitely going to get a piggyback on anything that the reunion can help our developers to add real-time communications to their apps. Again, our end goal is allowing any Windows native app to use real-time communication. So doesn't matter if you are in C#, we are going to support you. If you are in C++ WinRT, doesn't matter, VB, we are going to support you.
Okay, I think we are running out of time, but there is another one saying, will there be any constraints in the environment such as UWP? Maybe we can take that, and then I don't know if we'll have time.
I'm not sure about which constraints it's been talked about here. So UWP is a more safe environment for apps. So you can't do all the nice stuff and the crazy stuff you can do with the Win32. But yes, you can. The sample app we have at this moment on the GitHub is a UWP app. So you can have access to your camera, your microphone, to the network. Yeah, you can do it.
I think I got all the questions that I have.
Awesome.
And I think we just right on time, 9:30. So if you guys have any other questions, we would love to take them on GitHub or connect with us on LinkedIn or anything, and we would love to hear from you if you have any feedback or anything that you're wondering about. And we're really, really happy that you guys came here to join us in this session, and we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you guys. I love it. So please keep asking questions. So feel free to use GitHub and LinkedIn. I'm going to love to answer your questions and implement your features that you ask for.
Okay, perfect. I guess
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna call it a day. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, let's hit the red button.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Gina.